Am I audible now? Can you all confirm it once? Am I audible now? स्लॉट 2 बहुत हार्ड आया सीईटी का, बात करेंगे उसके बारे में आज शाम को 6 बजे. इवन आई हैव दिस फीडबैक विद मी, बट इज इट ऑडिबल नाउ? एक बार कंफर्म कर दीजिए. I think it is right. Yes, yes, yes. Great, great, great. So it's audible now. Everyone is saying it is audible. That's perfect. Okay. So now, first of all, a very good afternoon to all of you again, because of course I was not audible before. Now it is audible. So good afternoon, Akhil. Good afternoon, Subendu. Good afternoon, Bias, Victor, Sham and Sham, Samir, and Pritesh Singh, Rutuja, and Vibhushri, and good afternoon. Yes, good afternoon to all of you. So let's start with our session. So I was saying that we are having this series of Shakuntala Devi puzzles, and if you would have attended the first session of this series, I would have told you at that time as well that the questions which are there in Shakuntala Devi book, we are going to discuss those questions over here. Many of these questions can be put into LRDI section, but many of those, rather most of those, are more relevant from quantitative abilities perspective. So when I went through these questions, even I figured it out that many of these questions have already appeared in different management entrance tests. And the best part is that no one else is doing these sessions anywhere. So often, if I try to find it out on YouTube, you will not find any one of them, discussing these questions here. So therefore, I feel it becomes quite an important topic for all of us, because we are doing something which becomes unique. And in a competitive exam, I think you get an edge when you are doing something which the other people are not doing, right? Though we tell our students to do this, we repeatedly tell them that do these books of Shakuntala Devi and George Summers. George Summers books, they are more relevant from the perspective of LRDI, but Shakuntala Devi puzzles are more relevant from the perspective of quant. Okay. So last class we did some 6-7 puzzles. Similarly, we'll be doing a few more puzzles today, and we'll be discussing some quant concepts through these. As I told you that there would be many questions which are quite important from quant's perspective. So without any further delay, let us start with the class. So here is the first puzzle for all of you. पहले आप लोग try करेंगे, उसके बाद हम लोग इसे मिलके try करेंगे. The first one, I have named it as puzzle 8 because in the last class we went through puzzle 7. So this is puzzle number 8. Okay, the wedding anniversary. So you can see the love blooming between the bride and the groom. There are two hearts between them. So try to answer this question, and after that we will discuss it as well. So very good afternoon to all the newcomers as well. So it's an easy question, though I'm sure that all of you would be able to do it pretty fast. We will be discussing a shortcut for such questions as well, because these questions are very popular in those exams which are slightly easier on quantitative ability. For example, we are talking about Maharashtra CET nowadays because that's going on. Tomorrow even I have my exam in the morning. So in that exam, these age-based questions are very common. Similarly, if you talk about exams like SNAP or TISNET or CMAT, so these questions are very common in such kind of exams. Okay, so therefore we will be discussing a shortcut as well of this question. Let's start doing this first with the general solution, then with the shortcut. Recently, I attended the 12th wedding anniversary celebrations of my good friends Mohini and Jayant. Beaming with pride, Jayant looked at his wife and commented, At the time we were married, Mohini was 3/4 of my age, but now she is only 5/6. We begin to wonder how did the couple must have been at the time of their marriage. Can you figure it out? One thing is for sure that Mohini is not, happy with this guy. A person who talks in mathematics is generally locked like by the wife. Normally that happens. So here, first of all, he says at the time of the marriage, Mohini was 3/4 of my age. That means if at that time, let us say the age of Jayant was X. So can I say the age of Mohini was 3/4x? This is what he's saying. Mohini was 3/4 my age, but now she is only 5/6. And what do we mean by now? This is their 12th wedding anniversary. That means after 12 years. So if I talk about now, that is after 12 years, you can say the age of Jayant is x plus 12. Age of Mohini is 3/4x plus 12. And now he says the age of Mohini is 5/6 of my age. So 5/6 times of the age of Jayant, that is x plus 12. It is equal to 3/4x plus 12. So let's try to solve it out. We get 5x/6 plus 10 is equal to 3/4x plus 12. 12 minus 10 is equal to 2. 5/6x minus 3/4x, ये आ जाएगा आपके पास 1/12x. So if x by 12 is equal to 2, x is equal to 24. And if x is equal to 24, you can also say this 3/4x is 18. So at the time of marriage, I can surely say Jayant was 24 years old and Mohini was 18 years old. Right? And as I see, Akhil has given the right answer to the question. Victor has also given the right answer. So this is the right answer, that is 24 and 18. I'm sure all of you would have got it. This is the general way of solving this question. I am assuming that Akhil and Victor also would have used the same method. Or probably we can also say one more method is there. कि x plus 12 का 5/6 times ले लेते हैं मोहिनी की age. And then we compare it with 3/4x plus 12. One or the same thing. There is no difference. You can take it in two variables as well. ये भी आप कर सकते हैं कि ठीक है मैंने वेरिएबल जो है x और y ले लिए, उसके हिसाब से दो इक्वेशन बना दी. But generally वो लोग नहीं करते. I am assuming that Akhil and Victor would have almost used the same thing that I have done on the screen. Now what is a better method of solving this question? When I talk about a shortcut, what is the shortcut? In case of ages, I would have talked about this in previous sessions as well, so I am talking about it again. दो लोगों की एज का डिफरेंस जो है, the difference between the ages, it always remains constant, even if you talk about 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 25 years, 40 years, कुछ भी हो. I mean, if I and my sister, we have an age difference of 3 years today. So after 5 years from today, still the age difference between us would be 3 years. क्योंकि हम दोनों की age 5 years बढ़ जाएगी. After 10 years, the age difference would still be 3 years. After 50 years, the age difference would still be 3 years. So the age difference between us would always remain the same. That is one concept that we can use to make our questions easy over here. So I'm just explaining the other method over here. He says at the time of marriage, Mohini was 3/4 my age. So can I say if Jayant was 4 years old, Mohini was 3 years old? This is at the time of marriage, right? Mohini was 3/4 the age of Jayant. So if Jayant was 4 years old, Mohini was 3 years old. But what about today? That is after 12 years. He says now she is 5/6 my age. So if the age of Jayant is 6, then the age of Mohini must be 5, right? 5/6 का मतलब ये है. I want the difference between their ages to be the same. यहाँ पे by chance difference same ही है. 4 और 3 में difference 1 का है, 6 और 5 में difference 1 का है. If the difference was not same, I would have made it same. भाई 6 और 5 की जगह I could have taken 12 and 10, difference 2 का आ जाता. I could have taken 18 and 15, difference 3 का आ जाता. So whatever difference was there initially, I could have made the same difference by just multiplying the numbers. That could have been done by us easily. So here in this question, because the difference is same, I can say Jayant was 4 years old, Mohini was 3 years old. When Jayant was 6 years old, Mohini was 5 years old. So what is the difference between these two ages? Can I say this happens after 2 years, right? After 2 years, Jayant 4 से 6 हो गया, Mohini 3 से 5. But question says this should happen after 12 years. So what we are calling 2 years Question is calling it 12 years. So can I say whatever we are calling as 1 year, question is calling as 6 years? जिसे भी हम 1 year मान के चल रहे हैं क्वेश्चन के हिसाब से वो 6 years है. This means this 4 is actually equal to 24 years and this 3 is actually equal to 18 years. This 6 is equal to 36 years and this 5 is equal to 30 years. I can immediately say at the time of marriage, Jayant was 24, Mohini was 18, and today Jayant is 36, Mohini is 30. I hope you would have got the solution. This is pretty easy solution, right? Please tell me if you all got the solution here. समझ आ गया होगा सब लोगों को. मैं एक बार रिपीट कर देता हूं. डिफरेंसेस सेम होने चाहिए. फॉर्चुनेटली यहाँ पे डिफरेंस ऑलरेडी सेम थे. इफ दे आर नॉट सेम, you can take any multiples of these numbers to make the differences same. एक बार डिफरेंस सेम हो गए, then you check कि आपके अकॉर्डिंग कितने years के बाद ऐसा हो रहा है. So according to us it was happening after 2 years. According to the question it was happening after 12 years. So according to the question जो हमारे years है वो 6 times होने चाहिए. तो जिन्हें हम लोग आज 4 और 3 कह रहे हैं, they should have become 24 and 18, that is 4 into 6 and 3 into 6. And similarly for the today's age as well, 6 into 6 and 5 into 6. Akhil and Victor have said yes because these two people answered. So still other people also can tell me whether you have got the solution or not. I am assuming कि आप सबको समझ आ गया होगा. So अगर समझ आया है तो please write it in the chat box or press the like button. I'll move on to second puzzle now, that is puzzle number 9. So keep this process in mind. This is going to be helpful for you in many questions which are based upon ages. Here is question number 9 now on your screen. It's a long question, so I would have to hide myself for some time so that you can read the question, and after that we will talk about this as well. So please start reading this. After that we will talk about it. Bhaskar, LRDI is actually I would say an area of practice only. More you practice, better you would be at it. टाइम लग रहा है, एनालाइज कीजिए अच्छे से, कहाँ टाइम लग रहा है, क्या हो रहा है, यू विल गेट एन आइडिया अबाउट इट. Yes, can we start doing it now? I think all of you would have read it. We can start talking about it. Okay, and I can also be back because I have seen that sometimes when the teacher is not visible, students take a leverage of this, and I would not let you take the leverage of that. Okay, let's read it together. A friend of mine runs a bicycle shop and he told me the following story. A man who looked like a tourist came to his shop one day and bought a bicycle from him for rupees 350. By the time I read it, can someone answer the question? Because it's a question which is actually not based upon any mathematical skills. It's a real life situation that can happen with anyone. I'm sure that you can answer this question. The cost price of the bicycle was rupees 300. So my friend was happy that he had made a profit of rupees 50 on the sale. 300 ki cycle hai, he sold it for 350. However, while settling the bill, the tourist offered to pay in traveler's check as he had no cash with him. My friend hesitated. He had no arrangements with the banks to encash traveler's check, but he remembered shopkeeper next door had such a provision, so he took the checks to his friend. The traveler's checks were all made out of rupees 100 each, and so he had taken 4 checks from the tourist amounting to rupees 400. On encashing them, my friend paid back the tourist the balance of rupees 50. The tourist happily climbed the cycle and pedaled away. Later on, my friend's neighbor who had taken the traveler check the bank called them and returned the checks which had proved of no value, demanded for refund. My friend quietly refunded the money. He tried to find out the tourist, but he could not. So how much did he lose? That is what the question is asking. So I got only two answers from Akhil and Stellon. They both are saying 350, and Prithvi has somehow retracted his answer. So let's see what is the correct answer for this question. देखते हैं क्या है. The point is, in this whole story, why did my friend lose? Because of whom? So can I say he lost because of the tourist, right? Because he gave him some, false checks, because of which he had lost. And he had lost because of that guy. So what did that guy took from him? क्या लेके गया tourist उससे? There was one cycle of 300 rupees, right? So of course, keep that in mind. The loss would be counted as the cost price of the cycle. The selling price of the cycle is not counted as loss. I had a cycle for 300 rupees. I wanted to sell it for 400 rupees. I lost my cycle. My loss would be considered as 300, not 400, right? Plus, that guy also took 50 rupees cash from my friend, right? So I lost 300 rupees cycle, 50 rupees cash. So therefore my total loss is 350 rupees, and that is the correct answer. That is the correct answer. But why this question? I mean, if this question is this easy, why are they asking? So as you can see, Akhil gave the answer as 350. Stellon ने 350 बोल के उसको 750 कर दिया. Prithvi got 750. My Swift got 750. Victor got 750. So why 750 is not the answer? In 750, actually, you are also including that 400 rupees that this guy had to return, right? आप शायद उसको भी include कर रहे हैं. आप कह रहे हैं 400 rupees उसने उसको return भी तो किए हैं. See, intentionally or unintentionally, my friend who had this shop, when he went to his neighbor, he gave him false checks of 400 and took 400 rupees from him. Later on, his neighbor took back those 400 rupees from him. In that transaction, my friend lost nothing. Do not assume that when you give this 400 rupees to your neighbor, you are losing something, because you actually took these 400 rupees from him. It is just like I slapped someone, took 400 rupees from him, I snatched 400 from him, he slapped me back and he took back his 400 rupees. And then I start crying, oh, I lost my 400. That's not a loss, right? The only thing is, we always keep intentions in our mind. That when my friend went to the neighbor, he did not know that those checks were artificial, right? Or those were forged checks. He just gave it to them and he took 400 rupees. Later on, he got to know it's an artificial check, right? And he had to pay him back 400. Okay. But when you pay him back 400, actually took it from him. You gave someone something wrong and took 400 rupees from you. He gave you something wrong and he took 400 rupees back from you. In this transaction, nothing has happened. There is no profit, no loss. Whatever loss is there is because of that cycle plus that 50 rupees that you gave to the person. That's as simple as this. I hope you would have got my point. Stalin is saying it is okay, clear now. Others, I am assuming that it is clear to everyone now. Can we start to the next one? That is puzzle number 10, right? Here is puzzle number 10 now. The perplexed postal clerk. So as you can see, all of these questions are more of mathematical in nature, right? As I told you, when we did that series of George Summers puzzles, they were more of LRDI oriented, right? And all of these are quant oriented. But whenever we are doing these questions, you must look at all the nitty-gritties that we are using here. And each one of the questions would be giving you a new concept probably. And after doing 7, 8 questions in half an hour, 40 minutes, probably we will be having a good, bunch of concepts with us. And every time we do this, we will keep getting better at this. So Stellon has given the first answer 5, 30 and 7 of 2, 1 and 5 paisa. Okay, okay. So let's start doing this then. My friend Shubha works in a post office where she sells stamps. One day a man walked in, slammed 75 paisa on the counter and requested, please give me some 2 paisa stamps, 6 times as many 1 paisa stamps, and for the rest of the amount make up some 5 paisa stamps. The bewildered Shubha thought for a few moments and finally she handed over the exact fulfillment of the order. So how would you have handled the situation? So there are some 2 paisa stamps, there are some 1 paisa stamps, there are some 5 paisa stamps. Let us say there are X number of 2 paisa stamps. He says 6 times as many 1 paisa stamps. So 1 paisa stamps are 6x. And for the rest of the amount make up some 5 paisa stamps. So the remaining amount, let us say Y stamps are there for 5 paisa. What is the total amount spent by her? X stamps of 2 paisa, that makes it 2x rupees, plus 6x stamps of 1 paisa, that makes a total of 6x rupees, plus Y stamps of 5 paisa, that makes a total of 5y paisa, and the total money is equal to 75 paisa. 2x paisa would be from 2 paisa stamps, 6x into 1, that is 6x paisa from the 1 paisa stamps, and 5y is from 5 paisa stamps. So ultimately I have 8x plus 5y is equal to 75. It's a one linear equation which can have infinite solutions, but the point is we know one thing for sure, x and y, they both must be positive integers. Then there would be some limited solutions for this question. Otherwise तो infinite हो जाने वाले हैं. But number of stems cannot be negative, and each type of stems must be at least 1, right? So therefore 8x plus 5y is equal to 75. I'm looking for a solution of this. The thing that I want to teach you here is keep that always in mind. If you find 2 of these numbers are the multiple of same number, keep that in mind. Third number has to be a multiple of the same number. This will always make your job easy. मतलब हो सकता है ये दोनों सेम नंबर के मल्टीपल हो दोनों ये से दोनों सेम के मल्टीपल हो. फॉर एग्जांपल ये 5 का मल्टीपल है, इट इज आल्सो अ मल्टीपल ऑफ 5, so this should also be a multiple of 5. This immediately tells me that x can be 5. 8 into 5 40, this has to be 35, so 5 into 7 35, that makes the total as 75. Can I take x as 10? अगर 10 ले लूंगा तो 80, तो यही हो गया. This would be a negative number, that's not possible. और 5 से नीचे तो फिर 0 आएगा, that is also not possible. So the only possibility is x is 5. So 5 stems of 2 paisa, 30 stems of 1 paisa, and 7 stems of 5 paisa. So that was given as the correct answer by Stellon as well as Akhil and Shilki Agrawal as well. All of you have given the right answer for this question. But I hope you got my idea. Let us say this was not 75. Let us say this was 72. Okay? How do you immediately get the answer then? It's a multiple of 8. It is a multiple of 8. So this should also be a multiple of 8. So y should be equal to 8. 5 8s are 40. 72 minus 40 is 32. So x must be 4. Immediately answer आ जाता ना फिर भी कि x की वैल्यू 4. 4 into 6 24 और ये आ गया हमारा 8. तो 4 24 और 8 आंसर होता. If it was 70 तो एकदम से हम लोग ये बोलते हैं फिर से वो 5 के मल्टीपल होने चाहिए. So जैसे ही आपको कोई दो नंबर सेम के मल्टीपल दिख जाते हैं, your job becomes immediately easy because you know the third number has to be a multiple of the same number. So keep this thing in mind. I'm sure it is going to help you in the further questions as well. Let's move on to the next question now. Question number 11. So puzzle 11 is here on your screen down the escalator. An escalator based question. So must have studied escalator in your quantitative ability syllabus. So it's a question based upon that only. एंड आई एम अज्यूमिंग कि आप सब लोगों को जो मैं करा रहा हूं समझ में आ रहा है, कुछ ना कुछ फायदा हो रहा है. अगर हो रहा है तो साथ साथ लाइक करते रहेगा, बिकॉज आई एम नॉट एबल टू सी दैट. So you see the guy on your screen who is moving on an escalator. Generally people do not move like this. Generally people also walk on the escalator, and that's what is given in the question. Though the figure shows the man is standing on the escalator, but here he says that he is also walking on the escalator. Okay, so I think we can start doing it now. So it says, recently while in London, I decided to walk down the escalator of a tube station. I did some quick calculations in my mind. I found that if I walk down 26 steps, I require 30 seconds to reach the bottom. However, if I am able to step down 34 stairs, I would only require 18 seconds to get to the bottom. If the time is measured from the moment the top step begins to descend to the time I step off the last step of the bottom, can you tell the height of the stairway in steps? See, in the first case, यहाँ पे common mistake काफी लोगों से मैंने ये होते हुए देखा है. When he took 26 steps, I require 30 seconds to reach the bottom. तो 30 seconds में उसने 26 steps लिए. However, if I am able to step down 34 steps, I would only require 18 seconds to get to the bottom. तो जब 34 steps ले रहा है तो टाइम उसको ज्यादा लगना चाहिए. The time taken should be more. 26 steps, 30 seconds. 34 steps, 18 seconds. How is that possible? Right? So please keep that in mind. This time taken is not the time taken by the person alone. This time taken is the time taken by the person plus the escalator. Whereas the steps are taken by, the steps which are given to us here, they are by the person alone. So basically you can say in the first case, 26 steps were taken by the person. How many steps were taken by the escalator? We don't know. In the second case, 34 steps were taken by the person. How many steps were taken by the escalator? We don't know. But we definitely know that in the first case, escalator also worked for 30 seconds. In the second case, escalator also worked for 18 seconds. तो अगर मैं ये अज्यूम कर लूं कि लेट अस से एस्केलेटर टेक्स x steps in a second. Escalator takes x steps in a second. So in the first case, escalator is taking 30x steps, and in the second case, escalator is taking 18x steps. ये तो बात ठीक है ना मेरी? 26 steps are taken by the person. कितने टाइम में? 30 seconds में. In those 30 seconds, escalator ने कितने steps लिए होंगे? 30x. So the total steps taken by the person and the escalator is the height of the total stairway. Similarly, in the second scenario, 34 steps were taken by the person. In the same time, 18x were taken by the escalator. So this is also the height of the stairway. Therefore, I can just equate these two कि 26 plus 30x भी height of the stairway है और 34 plus 18x भी height of the stairway है. So 12x is equal to 8 और I can say x is equal to 2 by 3, 8 by 12 और 2 by 3. और जैसे मुझे x की वैल्यू मिल गई 2 by 3, इसको आप चाहे यहां पुट कर दो चाहे यहां पुट कर दो, दोनों ही तो आपको हाइट देने वाली है. That is 26 plus 30 into 2 by 3 or 34 plus 18 into 2 by 3. They both are going to give you the answer as 46. So 46 is the correct answer. Stallone, Akhil, Victor, they all have given the right answer to the question. 46 is the final answer. I hope all of you got it again, right? So it's a question based upon escalators, जिसमें common mistake होती है, हम लोग टाइम और स्पीड डिस्टेंस को रिलेट करते हैं, बट दे आर नॉट रिलेटेबल हियर बिकॉज द डिस्टेंस इज द डिस्टेंस कवर्ड बाय द पर्सन अलोन, whereas time is the time taken by person plus the escalator. Because of this only many a times people find it a bit difficult while doing questions of escalators. उनको generally दिक्कत आती है, उसका probably main reason यही है that they are not able to find out a relation between the two because of this thing only. So please keep that in mind, that the time is taken by them, I mean the same time is taken by them, there is nothing wrong with that, but the distance covered by them are actually different to go from the top to bottom, and therefore we have to find it out accordingly. Okay, that was puzzle number 11 for all of you. I'll move on now to question number 12. Here is puzzle number 12 for all of you, that is I'll get it for you wholesale. So try this question once. So can we directly relate the decrease in time and increase in steps according to ratio? Stallone, I don't think so. मतलब I'm not pretty sure of it. Probably after thinking about it, I might be able to say so. But अभी तो मुझे नहीं लग रहा शायद ऐसा होता है. हो सकता है इस क्वेश्चन में काम करता हो. Hanji, this is a common question from LRDI. It has been asked in many exams in different ways. So I would say it is important as well. Try to understand the concept. ठीक है, कोशिश कीजिएगा, हम लोग पूरा इसके बारे में बात करेंगे. Rather, let's start. Okay, छोटा सा question है, you all must have read it. So let's start doing it. If a wholesale merchant came to me one day and एक सेकंड, शुरू में if तो गलत लिखा हुआ है. A wholesale merchant came to me one day and posed this problem. Every day in his business, he has to weigh amount from 1 pound to 121 pounds to the nearest pound. To do this, what is the minimum number of weights he needs and how heavy should each weight be? Let's start talking about it. See, there are two kind of questions actually which are based upon this problem. I'll be discussing both of them one by one. First of all, the first scenario. The first scenario is when you are using a balance in which you can only put weights on one side. For example, if you want to measure 1 kg, how would you measure 1 kg? You need a weight of 1 kg. Because you put 1 kg on one side, the weight on the other side, you would be able to weigh 1 kg. But if you want to measure 2 kgs, how can you measure 2 kgs? Either you have another weight of 1, you have a weight of 1, have another weight of 1. So 1 plus 1, 2 can be measured by that. But I would suggest we should be having a weight of 2 kg because when I have a weight of 2 kg, I would be able to measure 2 kg by that, plus using 1 and 2 together, I would also be able to measure 3 kgs, right? With 1 kg, I can weigh only 1 kg. But including 1 and 2, I can measure 1, I can measure 2, I can also measure 3. So by taking another weight of 2 kgs, I would be able to measure 1, 2 and 3 all together. So that will be better. Next, what should be the next weight after 2? Now because I have been able to measure 1, I have been able to measure 2, I have been able to measure 3. I need to measure 4 now. If I have a weight of 4, I would be able to weigh 4 because I have 4. And then 4 plus 1 can give me 5 as well. 4 plus 2 can give me 6 as well. And all 3 together can give me 7 as well. That means using 1, 2 and 4, I can measure anything from 1 to 7. I hope all of you are getting my point. By using this, I can measure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Sabhi ke sabhi I am able to measure now. But if I have to measure 8, then I need a weight of 8. And now I can see probably a pattern is going on, that using all of them, I can weigh up to 15, right? 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 8, sabka use karke I can weigh up to 15. But for next, I need 16. Then using all of them, I can weigh up to 31. But for 32, I need 32, another weight. With all of them, I can weigh up to 63. But for 64, I need a weight of 64. And with all of them, I can weigh up to 127. Okay? For the next one, I need 128. But because I just have to weigh up to 121, I think all these weights are sufficient for me to measure anything from 1 to 121. So how many weights do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. 7 weights are needed to weigh anything from 1 to 121. So first of all of you would confirm it to me that is this clear to you? एक बार आप yes बोल देंगे तो मैं आगे बढ़ जाऊंगा. Then I'll talk about the second case. Answer for this question is not 7. This is just one scenario that I have discussed. What is this question talking about? It's a different scenario. I will be talking about that also. Now you would be able to understand that. But पहले मुझे ये बताइए, ये समझ आ गया आप सब लोगों को? एक बार जल्दी से कंफर्म कर दीजिए. That is this clear to all of you? Then I'll move on to the second case as well. Okay. So yes, so I see some yeses over here. Okay. Now this was a scenario in which I can only put weights on one side. That means for 2 I have only one option. I put 2 or 1 plus 1. For 3 I have only these options, that I put 3 or 1 plus 2 or 1 plus 1 plus 1. I don't have any other option. But in this case, when you have a weighing balance, आपको याद होगा एक weighing balance जो होता है pen balance इसको हम बोलते हैं, weights can be put on both sides. So what is the scenario there? Let's talk about that now. So here is the second scenario. If I can put weights on both sides, for 1 kg I need a weight of 1 kg. How can I measure 2 kg? So can I say now I have another way of calculating 2 kgs, that is, if I put 3 kg on one side and 1 kg on one side, I would be able to weigh 2 as well. जल्दी बताइए. 1 तो मेरा 1 से weigh हो ही रहा है, right? Let me make a weighing balance here, though I'm pretty bad at drawing, but let me just try it once. So this is one pan, this is another pan. So I hope you can understand how bad I am. So 1 kg के लिए तो मैं एक तरफ 1 kg रख दूंगा, I would be able to weigh 1 kg. If I want to weigh 2 kg, how can I weigh that? I'll put 3 kg here, 1 kg here. So can I say the material here must be of 2 kg only, then they would be equated. So by that logic, I would be able to measure 2 kg as well. 3 एक तरफ रखो, 1 एक तरफ रखो, 2 kg measure हो गया. How can I measure 3 kg? I have a weight of 3. And how can I measure 4 kg? I can use 1 and 3 together. अगर मैं 1 और 3 दोनों ही एक तरफ रख दूंगा, I would be able to weigh 4 as well. So can I say using these two weights, I can weigh 1, I can weigh 2, I can weigh 3 and I can weigh 4. Agreed everyone? 1 के लिए 1 यूज कर लेते हैं. 2 के लिए put 3 on one side, 1 on other side, that becomes 2. 3 के लिए use a weight of 3. 4 के लिए 1 and 3 on the same side, that uses 4. So ultimately I can weigh 1, I can weigh 2, 3, 4, all of them using 2 weights of 1 and 3. How can I measure 4 now? Sorry, 4 तो हो रहा है, 5 now. 5 के लिए I need a weight of 9. Why do I weight of 9? Need a weight of 9? Because 1 और 3 से 1, 2, 3, 4 measure हो जा रहा है. So if I put 9 on one side and using 1 and 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 on other side, can I say I can just subtract them from 9? मतलब suppose मुझे 5 measure करना है. How would I measure 5? 9 on one side, 1 plus 3 on other side. हो गया 5 measure. How can I measure 6? 9 on one side, 3 on another side. I will have 6. How can I measure 7? 9 and 1 on one side, 3 on another side. I can measure 7. And how can I measure 8? 9 on one side, 1 on one side. I can measure 8. How can I measure 9? 9 से 9 measure हो जाएगा. So I can weigh 9 minus 4, 9 minus 3, 9 minus 2, 9 minus 1 and 9 by all of them. And I can also measure 9 plus 1. इन दोनों को सेम साइड रख दो. दूसरी साइड तो 10 भी हो जाएगा. दोनों को सेम साइड रख दो. राइट. दूसरी साइड दूसरा भी हो जाएगा. दोनों को सेम साइड रख दो. फिर दोनों को सेम साइड रख दो. So by that logic you would be also able to measure all the other weights as well. 3 को इधर ले आओ, 1 को उधर ले जाओ, 11 वे हो गया. 3 को इधर ले आओ, 9 plus 3 12 वे हो गया. 9 plus 1 plus 3 से 13 वे हो गया. So using 1, 3 and 9 you can weigh everything up to 13, but to weigh 14 you need a weight of 27, because 27 में से जब 1 plus 3 plus 9 minus होगा 14 भी weigh हो जाएगा. So by that logic you can weigh up to 40. 41 के लिए you need a weight of 81. By using all of them you can weigh up to 121. For 122 you need a weight of 243. ये 121 देने का लॉजिक यही था. They have given 121 only because of this, that using 5 weights actually you can weigh everything up to 121, and these are the 5 weights: 1, 3, 9, 27 and 81. So मैं इसको ऐसे याद रखता हूं. In the first scenario I can only use a weight in 2 ways. या तो उसको इस साइड रखना है या फिर नहीं यूज करना है. Either I use it or I do not use it. 2 ways, so it goes in the powers of 2. In the second scenario I can use a weight in 3 ways. कैसे? I can use it on the positive side, I can use it on the negative side, I can not use it. 3 तरीके हैं, so it goes in the powers of 3. Right? So when you can also subtract the weights go in the powers of 3, but when you cannot subtract it, then it goes in the powers of 2, and this is how we get the answers to these questions. You might have a question, sir हमें कैसे पता चलेगा कि यहाँ पे कौन सा वाला केस यूज करना है? So in puzzles actually they don't write it. ठीक है, ये पजल की बुक है. पजल की बुक में ना बहुत सारी चीजें ऐसे लिख दी जाती हैं that you can understand by common sense. But if it's a question of any actual exam, they would actually be writing it, that you can use weights on only one side of the weighing balance, or you can use weights on both sides of the weighing balance. By that you would be able to identify which case I have to use, the first case or the second case, and then you can answer the question easily. So I'm sure that all of you have understood this question as well, right? That was another question for you, puzzle number 12. I'm sure all of you have understood. This is a very common concept used in many of the exams. So I'm sure it is going to be extremely helpful for you in the upcoming exams for you. And here comes the last question of the day, the wheels. So let's read the question and try to answer this. It's a question good enough from, I would say, CAT's perspective. I'll tell you why. सीईटी के पेपर में कैलकुलेटर यूज करने देते हैं क्या? नहीं ओमकार, नहीं करने देते हैं। So let's start doing it. A friend of mine in Bangalore owns a horse-driven carriage. It was found that the four wheels of the carriage make 4 more revolutions than the hind wheels in going 96 feet. However, it was also found that if the circumference of the four-wheel were 3 by 2 as great and of the hind wheel 4 by 3 as great, then the four-wheel would only make 2 more revolutions more than the hind wheel in going the same distance of 96 feet. Can you find the circumference of each wheel? Let's try doing this. So I have written this information on the next page as well. So this is the four-wheel and this is the hind wheel. Okay, this was the question is saying. So circumference of this wheel is, let us say, x, and circumference of this wheel is, let us say, y. So what is the number of revolutions taken by this wheel to cover 96 feet? Can I say it is 96 divided by x? And number of revolutions taken by this wheel to cover 96 feet? Can I say it is 96 divided by y? And question says it was found that four wheels take 4 more revolutions. So 96 by x minus 96 by y is equal to 4. Right, everyone? 96 by x minus 96 by y is equal to 4. He says now, if it was also found that if the circumference of the four wheel was 3 by 2 as great, अगर ये x की बजाय 3 by 2x होता, then the number of revolutions would have been 96 by 3 by 2x. And of the hind wheel was 4 by 3 as great, so it was 96 by 4 by 3y. He says then the four wheel would have made only 2 more revolutions. तब इनके बीच में difference 2 revolutions का आता. So generally though I can answer this question, there are 2 equations, 2 variables, I can solve them. Isn't it? Solve तो मैं कर ही सकता हूँ ना, 2 equations हैं, 2 variables हैं, तो इसको solve करके किसी ना किसी तरह equation बना के solve कर लूंगा. But why did I say it's actually a pretty CAT type question? Because CAT would never want you to do these questions in that way जहां पे आपको equations बनानी पड़े. They would also want कि यार कोई इसे तरीके से करो जिससे जो है smartly answer आ जाए, because they are not looking at your solution. If 96 is a small number, I can just look at the factors of 96. What are the factors? 96, उसके बाद 48, फिर 3 से डिवाइड करोगे 32, 4 से करोगे 24, 6 5 से तो होता नहीं है, 6 से करोगे 16, फिर उसके बाद 8 से करोगे तो 12, उसके बाद 12 से करोगे तो 8, 16 से करोगे तो 6, 24 से करोगे तो 4, 32 से 3, 48 से 2 और 96 से 1. Okay? He says 96 by x minus 96 by y is equal to 4. 96 के 2 ऐसे फैक्टर्स हैं जिनसे डिवाइड करने पे जो नंबर आते हैं उनका डिफरेंस 4 है. तो क्या वो नंबर्स हो सकते हैं जिनका डिफरेंस 4? अगर मैं यहां से देखूं, 2 तो मुझे ये दिख रहे हैं, ठीक है, 16 and 12, राइट? 16 and 12 they differ by 6. 16 6 96 होता है और 12 8 96 होता है. 2 तो मुझे ये दिखाई देते हैं. Now the point is, if this is equal to 16 and this is equal to 12, इसका मतलब x की वैल्यू कितनी है? Can I say 96 by something is 16, so x should be equal to 6, and 96 by something is 12, so y should be equal to 8. But this probably would not be my answer, because 8 का तो मैं 4 by 3 ही नहीं कर पा रहा हूं भाई. अल्टीमेटली तो मुझे 4 by 3 भी करना है उसका. अगर मैं 8 का 4 by 3 नहीं कर पा रहा हूं, so I would assume कि शायद ये मेरा आंसर नहीं होगा. For a moment probably I can leave it कि शायद ये आंसर नहीं बनेगा क्योंकि ये 3 का मल्टीपल नहीं है. दूसरे पे जाता हूं. अगली पॉसिबिलिटी क्या है मेरे पास? अगली पॉसिबिलिटी है 8 और 12 की. सो लेट अस से दिस इज इक्वल टू 8, सॉरी 12, आई एम सॉरी, अच्छा ये बनेगा, हाँ, लेट अस से दिस इज 12, दिस इज इक्वल टू 8. So 96 by something is 12, so that means that x should be equal to 8, and 96 by something is 8, so that y should be equal to 12. इसका 4/3 होता है. तो एक बार चेक करके देखिए क्या सेटिस्फाई कर रहा है. ऊपर वाला केस तो कर ही रहा है, नीचे वाला देखता हूं. 96 divided by 3 by 2 times of x. 3 by 2 times of x is 12, right? 3 by 2 times of x is 12. and 96 divided by 4 by 3 times of 12, which is equal to 16. 96 by 12 is 8 and this is 6. 8 minus 6 is 2. Yes, this satisfies. So straight away this is my answer. ये 12 होना चाहिए, ये 8 होना चाहिए. इसका मतलब मेरे x की वैल्यू 8 होनी चाहिए, y की वैल्यू 12. So the circumference of these two wheels are 8 and 12. As I said, these questions should actually be done in this way in any of these exams. अगर आप कैट एग्जाम के बारे में बात करते हैं, जेट, IFT, इन सारे एग्जाम्स में ये क्वेश्चन करने का सही तरीका ही ये है. If you start making equations in x and y and try solving them, that will become extremely difficult. It is always advised to not do the questions that way. Always try to do these questions in the way that we have just discussed. You might say कि सर ये तो 16 12 के बाद 8 12 तो आपका लग गया, एकदम से ना लगता तो agreed, नहीं भी हो सकता था तो मैं 8 और 4 को चेक करता, और तो कोई ऑप्शन था ही नहीं. 6 और 2 भी एक ऑप्शन था, सॉरी 8 4 को और 6 2 को. बट स्टिल आई वुड से अगर आप ये सारे भी चेक करोगे तो भी दिस वुड बी क्वाइट इजी विद रिस्पेक्ट टू मेकिंग इक्वेशंस. मोर ओवर सारे चेक करने नहीं पड़ते, कुछ तो ना आइडिया देख के लग जाता है कि यार 4 का डिफरेंस आ रहा है, बाद में 2 का डिफरेंस आ रहा है. अब अगर मैं 6 और 2 ले रहा हूं तो अभी 4 का डिफरेंस है, 2 का तो 1 कर दूंगा तो एकदम से 96 हो जाएगा, वो बहुत बड़ा नंबर बन जाता है. सो यू गेट एन आइडिया अबाउट दीज थिंग्स. इट जनरली डज नॉट टेक ऑल द केसेस, राइट? Theoretically there are many cases, but logically समझ में आ जाता है. These are the cases that you have to try with. Okay, so this is how we deal with these questions, guys. This was the last question of the day. That's all from my side for today. I'm sure that you have liked the session. If you understood the concepts, please do press the like button as well, and we'll keep coming with these sessions. The next session would be third one on Shakuntala Devi Puzzles again. See you on that day. Please subscribe to BYJU'S Exam Prep channel. You will find all the things over there as well. So please subscribe to that channel. You'll get the notification of these sessions, and see you in the next session. Okay, that's all for today, guys. Thank you very much. See you soon. Bye bye, tata, and take care.